Good day, everyone. Good day, sir. We are the group reporter who is assigned to report the General System Theory by Carl Ludwig von Bertalanffy. Carl Ludwig von Bertalanffy, 19 September 1901 to 12 June 1972, was an Austrian biologist known as one of the founders of General Systems Theory, or GST. This is an interdisciplinary practice that describes systems with interacting components applicable to biology, cybernetics, and other fields. Bertalanffy proposed that the classical laws of thermodynamics might be applied to closed systems, but not necessarily to open systems, such as living things. His mathematical model of an organism's growth over time, published in 1934, is still in use today. Ludwig von Bertalanffy in 1926, born in 19 September 1901 at Gersdorf near Vienna, Austria-Hungary, died 12 June 1972, age 70, Buffalo, New York, U.S. Alma mater, University of Vienna, known for general system theory. Von Bertalanffy functioned scientific career fields biology and systems theory thesis Fechner and das Problem der integration Fechner and the problem of higher order integration 1926. So the components is what is system theory, the premises of system theory, important viewpoint on system characteristics and features of system theory, advantage of system theory, disadvantage of system theory, ways system theory is used in modern organizations, and the conclusion. So, what is the general system theory? The general system theory, or GST, developed by Carl Ludwig von Bertalanffy, is a conceptual framework that seeks to understand and explain the behavior, structure, and interrelationships of systems, whether biological, social, or technological. Von Bertalanffy introduced it in the mid 20th century as an interdisciplinary approach to studying complex phenomena. The systems theory focuses on understanding the organization as an open system that transforms inputs into outputs. This theory is based on the work of a biologist, Ludwig von Bertalanffy, who believed that a general systems model could be used to unite science. Early contributors to this theory included Kenneth Boulding, Richard Johnson, Fremont Cast, and James Rosenzweig. The systems theory began to have a strong impact on management, though thought in the 1960s as a way of thinking about managing techniques that would allow managers to relate different specialties and parts of the company to one another, as well as to external environment factors. The systems theory focuses on the organization as a whole, its interaction with the environment, and its need to achieve equilibrium. The premises of the systems theory. The systems theory puts forth the premise that organizations, like living organisms, are made up of numerous component subsystems that must work together in harmony for the larger systems to succeed. Systems theory state that organizational success relies on synergy, interrelations, and interdependence between different subsystems. as arguably the most valuable component of a company. Employees make up various vital subsystems within an organization. Departments, work groups, business units, facilities, and individual employees can all be considered component systems of the organizations. So, sa environment naman, which is a system, we are, andito yung input, transformation, and output. Without the input, hindi ka makakaproceed ng transformation which is ang input is andito yung physical, human, and financial and information. Dito na sa transformation which is hindi siya makakaano pag wala ang input. Tas without the transformation, wala din ang output. Kaya may pattern na po siya.
Good day, sir. So, I explain the important viewpoints of organization in general system theory. Number 1 is open system. Number 2, closed system. Number 3, subsystem. Number 4, synergy. Number 5, entropy. So, number 1 is open system. Example nito is yung kapag isang negosyo ay nakikinig sa feedback ng kanilang customer at ina-adjust nila ang kanilang produkto dahil dito. So, open sila sa lahat ng feedback na sinasabi ng kanilang customer. System naman ay kabaliktaran ng open system. Ang closed system ay yung hindi sila tumatanggap ng feedback mula sa labas at nananatili lang sila dun sa kanilang pamamaraan o yung kanilang nakasanayan. Hindi sila tumatanggap ng feedback mula sa labas. Ang subsystem naman ay ito yung may kanya-kanya silang responsibilidad na tumulong. O sa isang department, may kanya-kanya silang responsibilidad. So sa synergy, ito yung kapag nagtutulungan ng bawat membro ng team, mas maganda ang resulta or mas maganda yung nagiging resulta ng ginagawa nila dahil sa kanilang teamwork. Hindi sila naghiwa-hiwalay. So sa entropy, ito yung nawawala na sila ng innovation, hindi na na-update ang mga proseso o hindi na-adapt yung mga pagbabago o walang pagbabago sa kanilang ginagawa. So let's proceed to characteristics and features of the system theory. Number 1 is communication. Communication mechanism must be put in place for organizational systems to exchange relevant information with its environment. Communication provides for the flow of information among subsystems. Ang communication is kailangan magkaroon ng magandang pamamaraan para maipasa ang informasyon sa loob ng system. Kasi kung walang communication, paano nila may share yung information na kailangan nilang maipasa? At mahalaga itong communication para manatili ang ugnayan nila sa kanilang pamamaraan ng pag-share ng information. Example na lamang natin sa nurse and patient, na kapag pinapaliwanag ng nurse sa patient niya ang proseso sa operasyon niya para mabawasan ang takot ng patient at para masigurado din na may konting alam ang patient bago ito pumayag. So, through communication, nakakapag-communicate tayo sa ibang tao para sa information nila na gustong malaman. 2 is systems, subsystems, and supersystems. Systems are a set interrelated part that turn inputs to outputs through processing. Subsystem is the step that does the processing of the objectives within an organization. Super system are other system and environment of which the survival of the focal system is dependent. So, sa system is through processing daw, ang part na magkakagna ay nagiging input, turn to output. Example ito, yung nurses na ang layunin is yung gumanda na ang pakiramdam ng kanilang patient. Kahit madami itong proseso, ang layunin lang nila is gumaling yung patient. Kumbaga, hindi maganda ang pakiramdam mo to gumanda na siya kasi madaming ginawang process upang makamit yun, upang gumaling yung kanilang patient. Ito yung maliit na sistema na responsable sila upang matupad or makuha na nila yung kanilang nais na makuha or yung layunin nila. Example na lang sa nursing, ito yung care plan na nagbibigay ng gamot, nag-aalaga ng sugat at tinuturuan nila yung patient nila para makuha nila yung layunin nila na gumaling ang patient. Super system is ito yung malalaking system na kailangan ng isang system upang mabuhay ito. Example na lang sa nursing, ito yung malalaking healthcare team like doctors, therapists, at social worker. Sila yung super system na nagsasama-sama para maisakatuparan yung care plan na ginagawa nila para magtagumpay sila sa kanilang plano para maisalba ang buhay ng tao. Boundaries. The part of the system that separates it from each environment. The 4 types of boundaries involved in the process are physical, linguistical, systematic, and psychological boundaries. So, example sa nurse-patient interaction. The professional relationship between the nurse and the patient acts as a boundary, defining the rules and expectation within the therapeutic relationship. Example, a nurse maintaining a professional boundary by focusing on the patient's health needs rather than sharing excessive personal information. So last is goal-directedness. Systems are goal-oriented and engage in feedback in order to meet the goals of the organization. Also, every part of the system is interdependent with each other working together towards the goal. So, example nito is a psychosocial support. Example, for a patient experiencing anxiety, the nurse sets a goal of reducing anxiety level through relaxation techniques, counseling, and support groups. All activities aim to achieve this emotional and psychological stability. So, dahil sa teamwork or yung sa nurse na kailangan may teamwork para makuha nila yung goal-directedness or yung goal nila na gumaling yung patient nila. So let's proceed the advantage of the system theory. It focuses on the environment and how changes can impact the organization, broadens the theoretical aspects for viewing the behavior of organization. It is designed to deal with complex tasks. It aims in meaningful analysis of organization and their management, facilitates interaction between organization and environment. Advantage nito is nag-focus daw sila sa kung paano nila baguhin ang isang environment na maaaring makakaapekto sa kanilang organization. Nakakatulong daw ito para mas naiintindihan nila ang behavior ng isang organization. Advantage din ito is para masolusyonan ang mga masyadong komplikadong problema at layunin nilang gumawa like operation para malaman nila ang nangyari sa organization nila if maganda ba ang kanilang pamamahala. Pinopromote din nila ang ugnayan nila ng organization at environment para mas effective ang operation nila. In short, ang advantage nito is para gumanda ang organization at masolve ang problema ng organization nila at environment nila. So, ang disadvantage of the system theory. The system theory doesn't focus on specific task functions over conceptual and practical example. It can be easily and directly applied to practical problems. The theory changes in environment directly affect the structure and function of the organization. Doesn't directly explore the impact of interpersonal relationship, type of interaction and dependence, and loyalty on productivity. So the theory is very general and does not provide solution for a specific task or problem. Or ito naman yung hindi sila hindi nila naiisip ang or hindi sila makakaisip, hindi sila nakaka-provide ng solution dun sa problema ng environment or organization nila. It focuses more on ideas and concepts which can make it hard to use in real-life situations. Nakapokus sila dun sa mga idea which can make it hard to use in real life. So, nahihirapan silang gamitin sa real-life situation. Not practical. It's not easy to apply the theory directly to real-world problems. So, nahihirapan sila i-apply yung theory dun sa real-world problems nila o yung problema ng organization or environment nila. Affected by environment changes. When the environment changes, it can directly affect how the system works and it's structured. Doesn't focus on relationship or loyalty. It doesn't deeply study how relationships, interaction, and loyalty affect productivity. So, ang environment daw is nagbabago siya na maaaring makakaapekto sa structure at function ng isang organization.
Way system theory is used in a modern organizations. System theory is used to measure performance control and compute the interactions among individuals in each department of organizations. So meaning, ang system theory daw na tinatawag ay ginagamit sa pagsukat or measurement ng performance at pag-compute ng pagkikipag-ugnayan patungo sa bawat isa sa ating department of the organizations. When the system theory is presented in an organizations, this helps in a growth and development. So, meaning, kapag daw na-present or naipakita ang system theory sa organizations, makakatulong ito upang magkaroon tayo ng tinatawag na growth and development. If a typical managerial leader has any knowledge of the system theory, it's easier to manage the mechanisms of the product and services leaving the organizations. So, kapag daw ang manager leader natin or leader natin it's already have an idea or kaalaman tungkol sa system theory, aling madali lamang i-manage ang mga mechanism ng produkto or pamamaraan paano gamitin ang product dahil it's already have a priority knowledge. Conclusions. System advocate inventions the organizations as being made up in interdependent factors including individuals' group, attitudes, motives, former structures, interactions, goals, status, authority. If all parts of the organizations are not coordinated internally, then organization's goal can be achieved. So, ang system theory na ito ay nagtataguyod upang makita ang organizations na gawa sa interdependent factors. Kabilang sa mga ito ay upang mabuo ang mga individual na group like attitudes, motive, formal structures, interactions, goals, status, and authority. Kapag naman lahat ng ito ay or lahat ng parts ng organizations na ito ay hindi magtutugma sa loob, then maaaring ang organizations ay hindi ma-achieve or magawa. Again, open system approach recognize that organizations are not self-content. They rely on the environment for essential inputs as sources to absorb their outputs. And again, ang open system approach ay kilala sa organizations na ito ay hindi pansariling content, bagkus ito ay umaasang nagde-defend din sa kanilang environment para mahalagang inputs bilang pagkukunan at para maunawaan or makuha ang kanilang outputs. So system approach is very crucial for organizations for its existence and a business scenario and economic environment in order for all faces cyclic circumstances and move step ahead to achieve organizational goal. So, ang system approach is very crucial para sa organizations na ito at sa kanyang existence sa business scenario, economic environment upang harapin ang lahat ng cyclic na pangyayari at makapag-move step ahead para makamit at magawa ang organization's goal na ito.